Hey, me, Makari. You joined Discord and Twitch. Hey, thanks, bye. I remember seeing something about this YouTuber back in the day, the vegan teacher, I think her name was. And I remember seeing all this stuff about her being the like cringiest thing imaginable. And, you know, obviously, like, all of this was based off of people just trying to get like easy clicks, like being as extreme as possible and trying to like upset people with how extreme their views were, like any attention being good attention. However, this video came out like the other day from Sunny V2, and I'm not normally one to watch this guy's content much these days because it's like the most simple slop imaginable. However, I am a little bit bored, so let's watch this one and see what it's all about. Remember to like the video though.
She thinks walking your dog is animal abuse, has been on
right, okay. So let's not look at this and get angry. Let's look at this and enjoy a case study of why being terminally online is fucking
news for calling horses slaves and believes it's okay fighting.
yes, the same kind of, okay, I've dealt with these kind of people. There is usually one of these kind of people who's out in the main high street who will be going up to butcher shops and you know, places that sell animal products and, you know, just throwing bricks through the wall, not realizing that, you know, milking cows is actually healthy for them and that, you know, wherever your stance is, you're not helping by doing what you do. Being a problem does not solve an issue.
Butchers,
Karens,
service workers,
if you will,
and even children at their birthday party. The government has banned her from living in her hometown, and her first viral video will start to show you why. The event scene behind her is the Million Paws Walk, where families meet to walk their dogs together and help raise funds for animals in need.
Okay. How could you possibly see something cruel coming out of that? Let me guess. She's the same kind of person that sees owning soap as being discriminatory to microorganisms. Oh, you decided to take the bus instead of going by bicycle? Yeah. Well, how many puppies were slaughtered to make the covers for your seats, huh?
Well,
these kind of whack jobs give Karens a bad name.
The most violent thing that you could ever participate in.
Protesting that every animal should be treated the way that dogs are.
Why would you love one but pay?
Okay, like, I get it, right? There's a valid way to voice outrage. This is not it. And, like, if you have an opinion, if you think, like, that's the glorious part of the world we live in. If you have an opinion, that's great. But not everyone has to agree with your opinion. And not all opinions are born equal. Some opinions are just shitter than others.
You love one, but pay for the suffering and abuse of other animals. Pigs are in fact more intelligent than dogs.
Here's the thing. There is a correct way to protest, and then there's this way. This way does nothing than cause the problem. And I guarantee you, she isn't even really invested in the problem. She just knows that doing what she's doing is going to get her all of those clicks on TikTok. She is looking for the outrage bait. That's all it is.
However, vegan
and if she does believe this, then
which
cool.
she tied to a leash,
but she's still stupid for projecting the way she is.
She skated. It's pretty funny how you are protesting, yet you have a dog pulling you. Pretty hypocritical, and the hypocrisy didn't stop there, because Vegan Booty then showed up at a charity football match, disrupting 35,000 spectators because she thought her cause was way more important. In a satisfying turn of events, she was fined 18.
And the funny thing is, you damn well know that people will sit there defending her, saying what she did. Trying to say, oh, she doesn't deserve to get... No. Here's the thing. If you do stupid stuff, you're going to get treated stupidly. There are consequences for your actions. And if you run into a highly secure area and get punched by security... No fucking kidding, dude. What? What, surprised Pikachu face? Huh? You're surprised that happened? Crazy.
$1,500 for the stunt, yet this wasn't too...
Like, it doesn't surprise me people are like this. What surprises me more so is when these people don't expect people to then be volatile against them. It's like, how delusional are you? Good God.
Expensive for the exposure it provided.
Would you do it all again?
Yes, 100%.
However, at around the same time, Isaac Butterfield was going viral for his anti-vegan videos, featuring Tash in the worst vegans on TikTok.
Why is your name Vegan Booty when you're running around with that? Change your name to Vegan Pancake Ass.
Sheesh! Absolutely savage. Of course
This
it's
gave
Australian.
Tash a chance to respond, although she was met with a brutal dislike ratio as Isaac's audience offered their very first downvote. He'd therefore slam Vegan Booty again.
Meat's amazing, it's delicious, and guess what, bitch? I'm gonna have a big dirty...
Look, anyone knows common sense, right? Common sense dictates you don't have to agree with someone's opinion. If somebody wants to eat meat, let them eat meat. If you want to protest that, don't go after the person eating the meat. You do it in a sensible way that protests the idea. Because otherwise, you end up looking like an absolute tool.
steak for dinner.
No, like, I
hope you
don't think
enjoy your
anybody,
broccoli.
I don't think
Time.
anybody who looks at that girl says, ah, yes, I'm taking her message seriously. No one with the right mind, at least.
Little child.
Yet with comments such as who else came from Isaac's channel, this was only helping Vegan Booty grow.
Well, exactly. But the thing is, attention is attention, but not all attention was made equal. There is no such thing as... There is such a thing as bad attention. Yeah. It's like any other of these TikTokers getting cancelled, right? Like, the people following aren't following so that they can relate with her message. They're following for the sake of, you know, watching the car crash in motion. Problem is, because it's the way it works, they see the fact that their numbers are going up as a good thing. And it's like, ah, yes, I have big numbers now, which means I must be doing something right. Because unfortunately, people are sheep and don't know how to just, like, let something slide. Because terminally blind people don't know how to separate seriousness from sensible action.
She'd use her newly found fame to launch
it's
a
fucking
vegan
funny.
clothing company, spoofing
And if
the
it is gonna happen, we might as well make
Antisocial
something
Social
light out of
Club
it.
to instead read Anti-Animal Cruelty Club. Well, Isaac then launched his own anti-vegan social club, leading Vegan Booty to call in heavy reinforcements. She'd discuss is Isaac
Parents?
Butterfield's anti-vegan club responsible for this vegan phobia, with no one other than that vegan teacher.
Of course it is. Like, Vegan Booty might be shit, but that guy making a call-out video? Yeah. Of course it's making things worse. You're engaging with the problem. Like, the act of calling someone's bullshit out only draws more attention, and you're gonna find people who watch your video calling someone out are just going to that video to vindicate their shit opinion. Like, they're looking for someone who's gonna flagship that to give them an excuse to hate something. They might hate veganism, so they see this guy posting this video going, yeah, fucking, yeah, that's right, dude, that's right, my guy, yeah, my opinion on being anti-vegan. Like, you get the most extreme versions that will flagship content like this. It doesn't help anyone. All it is like the most clinical definition of terminally online idiots.
Literally has shirts made that say anti-vegan club.
The pair became so close that they'd call each other family.
Hi, sweetie. How are you?
Of course.
Hello. Hey, mom. How you going?
However, it was obvious Vegan Booty was the crazier of the two.
God, that's wild. That's actually wild. Like, the vegan teacher was kind of cute in the sense that, you know, it was like an old lady, just in her retirement, who had nothing better to do, wanted to get a bit of internet fame. No, it was cute. It was cute.
Began infiltrating supermarkets wearing an animal onesie before standing in the milk section, dissuading shoppers from their purchase. For obvious reasons.
Honestly, if that's all she was doing, that's a decent protest. But the second you start causing volatility, of course you're gonna get treated like an idiot. Because only idiots resort to violence.
Staff weren't too happy about this, and even after being ejected, she still yelled outside the store.
Her babies are taken away from her straight after birth.
Same kind of people that go into museums and throw paint on priceless paintings as a way to protest something completely unrelated.
As a result, Tash was permanently banned from Australia's
Good.
2 main supermarkets, yet this didn't stop her protests, as vegan booty would only get.
You know how you stop this kind of stuff? You don't fine them. Because they don't care about money to begin with. Because chances are, if they're on this kind of tangent, they have either Daddy's trust fund or they're making money off of YouTube because they're trying to get any kind of attention. The way you get rid of these kind of people is you deplatform them. Look at Alex Jones. When was the last time you heard about anything from Alex Jones? Got deplatformed? All of the memes stopped. Say what you will about Alex Jones, but, you know, deplatforming is a much more practical way of stopping people like this than just finding them.
Worse, she'd show up at McDonald's in a much more detailed costume, being kicked out not by staff but instead this time police. Hilariously, this guy began his own protest, countering her with a legendary sign.
I stood outside of a brothel with this exact note.
In Vegan Booty's next stunt, she walked into KFC and poured
Ew.
orange paint everywhere while blasting dying animal noises for over 15 minutes. Not gonna lie, but you're incredibly
I don't know, dude. I mean, if this was in England, people just walk around her. Like, people ain't got time. People are working a 9 to 6 hour day. They're getting paid minimum wage. They don't have time to worry about this bitch who's working off of Daddy's trust fund. They just want to get in, get their Maccas, and get out. They ain't gonna pay this girl any attention.
selfish to the people that work at
And in fact, in London, this is just considered normal.
All they're trying to do is do their job. I feel so sorry for the workers, while even other vegans called Vegan Booty out.
She is giving veganism a bad name.
Yes, and that's the other thing, right? Veganism is not a bad thing, but as with anything, the extremists of any kind of movement always give the other, like, normal members of that sort of group a bad name. Like, take for example furries. Just because one person oomphed a dog doesn't mean all furries oomphed a dog. Or any kind of religion. The zealotist types of those religions always give the regular, normal kinds of people a bad name. And unfortunately, people who are just trying to go about their day, living their life under their beliefs, end up struggling and having to deal with slander because of this kind of... In fact, think about it this way. This is the kind of bullshit and the kind of thing that has caused the radicalization and racism that we've seen in the last, 3 years. Like, that kind of, Zionist, racist kind of hatred, unapologetic hatred, has gotten so bad in the last, I'd say, fivefold in the last 3 years. Like, transphobia, homophobia, any kind of phobia. The general phobic nature of our world has 5x'd, 6x'd, just in the last 3 years, 4 years, because of this kind of nonsense. And it's not the extremists that suffer, it's those who are in the middle who are just trying to live their lives. Such a shitty thing to see, because it's that mentality of everyone loses out because of the one idiot.
People wrote about Tasha's public stunts. Instead of promoting vegans, you kind of just embarrassed them, and nothing showed this better than her children.
And the thing is, again, most people know that. Most people do. But it's the low IQ, stay-at-home mom with nothing better to do who believes everything they see that will then take that obvious stupidity and make it as truth. Because they don't know better, and they're sheep, and they're not willing to think for themselves. Because people will see something and make it as gospel. Because people are stupid. Stupid people make stupid decisions. Stupid people will take a stupid thing and believe it because they're stupid. Stupidity spreads stupidity. And the thing is, most people aren't that stupid, but those who are stupid become the vocal minority.
Children's party meltdown. These two horses were clearly very well looked after and were waiting outside a family festival so kids could take a picture. Well, of course, Vegan Booty somehow thought it was abuse.
I just want to know who the slave owner is. Okay, that's disgusting. This is animal abuse.
You know, it's disgusting. You're asking
You know that she knows that they're not being abused. But to her, she's going up to them and saying, yeah, they're being abused. Meanwhile, the horse is thinking, bitch, shut up. I'm just eating I'm eating my grub here. Like, again, she knows they're not being abused, but she's not thinking about saving the animals. She's thinking about how many views this is going to get on TikTok.
She tried and failed to make any decent points.
If you were in their position, would you be happy?
Although Vegan Booty wasn't finished there. She'd then go into the festival to find the horses again, disrupting all photos by making a public announcement.
These innocent beings are no different to our beloved dogs and cats.
They look like they're under so much stress.
This awesome dad then quickly stopped their antics.
Man, I'm losing IQ here. You know what the irony is as well? She would literally be causing the animals stress. She's causing the animals more disruption, more stress than what she's accusing them of having been stressed by. The irony.
Photos of my kids, man. Yeah, not taking photos. No, we'll just keep walking that way then. Keep walking that way.
And thankfully, police were there to intervene. After posting her video to TikTok, Tash again made national news in which they'd interviewed.
So there's an underlying thing here. I think the reason why you get people getting away with this is because a lot of countries, especially like England, Australia, where this stuff kind of becomes prevalent, there's no rules to punish people who make this kind of content, because there's a evident distinction between people who are going out of their way to garner clout for the sake of disruption versus people who are actively protesting for a real reason. And not to get too political, but if the way you stop this is by making laws against people who are just evidently just causing problems, because there's no legislation against this kind of activity, they get away with it, because the worst that can happen is that they get ejected from wherever they are. And I know there's some countries, I think some parts of Europe especially, have taken like, you can tell like when a country is understanding of social media, because they've enacted legislation that will punish or take into consideration the use of said content. And there are countries, I think, especially in like Europe, like I think Denmark, Sweden, they have legislation against content creators. But if you are doing something like this, that you will get punished because it's a specific crime.
The horse's owner.
Meg Freeman owns the pony business. She says she's being bombarded with abuse by vegan protesters. Meg Freeman wants her charged.
They're like terrorists. They're not going to go away.
Well, only 1 week later, Vegan Booty announced, I'll be going to court on the 13th of May, as I received a summons for a restraining order from the owner of Ponies for All Occasions. Those who dislike me are triggered because I made them realize that they're animal abusers. What I'm going through right now isn't a loss. It only means we're winning.
I'm always a non-violent protester and I never harass anyone.
I don't even think the vegan teacher is this crazy. This girl is making vegan teacher seem like an angel.
God. Yeah, you know, the only way you should ever see this kind of stuff, these kind of people, is to be seen as a joke. That's all it is. It's a joke. For all the negative nonsense that I mentioned prior, it's funny. Like, think about what else they could be doing at that time. You just laugh at it, and you find it funny. Because it is.
At least the vegan teacher didn't have her own number plates, as this made Vegan Booty foolishly recognizable.
Meat and cheese smeared across her family's car. Vegan activist Tash Peterson says this cruel joke crosses the line.
People recognized her car, then threw meat bones on her driveway, yet trolls weren't the only people who showed up at her house.
I've woken up once again to the police knocking at my door, so I've been issued with another barring notice.
Controversial.
I mean, no shit. Need I reciprocate the point I made earlier? You do stupid things, you get stupid results. Like, duh.
Vegan activist is banned from every pub in her state after becoming notorious for wild stunts where she screams at innocent families.
This is what I mean by not all attention is good attention.
Alcohol, I'm not allowed into. A penalty of $10,000.
And eventually, it's a diminishing returns. Eventually, there's only so many times you can spin this kind of a message. Eventually, that kind of shit comes back to bite you in the ass. Eventually, There's no amount of spinning that you can do that will make you seem like you're in the right. Which is why stupid people get stupid results.
I break this barring notice.
The ban had come after another disgusting protest.
Fishing that is 30,000 shots every hour! Animal abusers! Animal abusers! Animal abusers!
Yet Vegan Booty was still convinced that she'd done nothing wrong.
You notice as well, and the thing that makes me realize that she is just literally trying to do this for as much attention as possible. She never chooses to do this in, like, actual places that are relevant to the protest. It's always in the most public place imaginable with the loosest ties to the concept. Yeah, she should join PETA. Absolutely.
I don't really have a right to freedom of speech here in Australia. It's honestly pretty corrupt, if you ask me.
Her freedom of speech is just going to a restaurant
she's on
and
something.
screaming like a lunatic about murder. There is a difference between speech and screaming. Your freedom of speech...
But guys, let's take this as a sign, right? We know that we will never,